With us once again, Jim Rogers, famous investor Jim Rogers, coming to us from the other side of the world in Singapore. Mr. Rogers, thank you so much for joining us today on USAWatchdog.com as you work out.
Well, I'm delighted to be here, Greg, and if I can keep my breath, we'll keep talking. If I lose my breath, I'll either stop or I'll stop working out, one of the two. So
all right. Well, just as long as people know what's going on, because I had some comments about, is that man okay? Yes, Jim Rogers is okay. He's working out, and I'm glad to get you any way I can get you. So, I want to start out with your book, Street Smarts, Adventures on the Road and on the Markets. And we didn't have any precondition for me to do that. But it hit me that this is not your first book. Actually, a lot of people say this is the best book you've done, and you've done some good ones. But you have written books with a global perspective, traveling the globe, looking at different countries, markets, commodities. You are the ultimate big picture guy. You've been around the world. And of all the people that I hear warning about, problems in the economy, you scare me the most because you are the most mainstream. You are a guy that's gone back to the 70s in investing. You've made a lot of big calls. And when you say things like you're very concerned and you're worried and everybody else should be, that to me is a red flag. What are you worried about? What is it that you see that is your biggest worry that could play out?
Well, I guess the main thing, Greg, is that the central banks all around the world, this is the first time in recorded history that all major central banks are printing money at the same time and trying to debase their currencies. Japan, Europe, America, UK, they're all doing it. This has never happened. In the 30s, everybody had beggar thy neighbor policies. They raised tariffs and controls. But this is the first time we've had massive debasement of currency. And it's going to end very badly, but no matter what they say.
Well, when you say end badly, walk us through hold on, let me back up just a minute. The last time, and I thought this was utterly brilliant in its simplicity, in that you say if they keep printing, it'll end badly. If they stop printing, it'll end badly. Either way, it'll end badly. And I'm thinking how simple, it's like Johnny Cocker, if it doesn't fit, you must have quit. It's just brilliant in simplicity. Could you describe, if they keep printing, what ending badly looks like?
Well, I'm even going to stop exercising to explain that. Right now, there's massive amount of money flooding around the world, and it's going somewhere. It's going into financial markets for the most part. Some into the world economy, but for the most part, as you know, unemployment in America is higher now than it was in 2007, 2008. And that's true of most of the world. So what little recovery there has been artificial, based on an artificial sea of liquidity. Now, when the sea of liquidity stops, the people who've been getting the money, first of all, are going to suffer because they're going to have all this free money. It's gone. And so that part of the world economy is going to suffer, which means that the rest of us are. America is the largest economy in the world. Europe as a whole is an even bigger economy. Japan is the third largest economy in the world. So when all of these economies stop having this free money, then all of a sudden people are going to scramble. Banks are not going to be lending. There's not going to be much liquidity in the system. Financial markets are going to go down. Currency markets are going to be in great turmoil. Greg, it's not going to be any fun. What's astonishing to me is that grown-ups in places like Washington can say, well, the solution to too much debt and too much spending is more debt and more spending. And that people like Bernanke can say, well, printing money in QE1 didn't work. It didn't work with QE2. So let's try QE3. These people are insane. I think it was Einstein who said that the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting different results. We've got problems.
So if they stop, the economy grinds to a pretty screeching halt. And here's the other scenario. You said if they keep printing money, it's going to end badly. Okay, so the other side of the question, let's say, they meet at Wyoming and Jackson Hole, and they come out and they say, we think we're not going to have any taper, we're not going to stop printing, we're going to keep printing money, we think this will come out. What happens if they just keep printing money?
Well, what has always happened before in terms of currency debasement is eventually you have serious inflation, but you also have bubbles in some parts of the economy. The people getting all of this free money, Greg, go and do what's called malinvestment. They invest the money in places that perhaps they wouldn't have otherwise. The moment